So guys, welcome back. This is the end of the day and we are riding home from my workplace. So this is an underground garage where I park my bike and I swipe my card and then I'm good to go. Here we have to watch out for the pedestrians, and usually this is where I put away my entry card. So it's Friday afternoon and the traffic at Budapest is getting nasty and nasty, but we are before the main traffic, so it should be good. This morning I wanted to do also another motovlogging, but I forgot to hit recording and I saw my camera turn off and I saw that it died because it was so cold. It was like -7 or 8 degrees. I'm not sure about the operating temperature here, but that was not the problem. The problem was that I forgot to basically, what is going on here? So I forgot to hit recording. Bazd meg, hát hülye vagy. Oops. So this is the Dohány Street. There is a synagogue and it's like a, let's say, tourist attraction, so to speak. But it's not that serious. So how was your week? What have you been up to? Oh, I love these. And what's more important, what are your plans for the weekend? I don't really understand these kinds of people. They can see that they clearly cannot make it through the traffic or before the light shows red, but they still insist on entering the cross section. And when you get the green light and you got to go, or you have the right of way, you just stand there and stare at each other. Last year, when we moved our data center from one location to another, I had to come during the day with car, as I was helping to transport the servers and whatnot, and then the traffic was like crazy. And we have this congestion on every road in Budapest, so to speak. And we have a ambulance stuck in the traffic. I'm not sure if the Hungarian National Protection Service is allowed to go into the lane of the buses. As far as I know, only taxi and bus and devices with special sound and color effects can travel here. And I'm not sure if the National Guard service is amongst those. Let's try to squeeze. Voila! This was a nice acceleration. Here we go again. For the past couple of days, I have been on and off about this motovlogging hype, and I've been looking for ways to attach my camera onto the bike. And it's not that easy, or I don't know. So if I compare the accessories available for Osmo Action 4 or Insta 360, then there is clearly I think better support for this kind of activity on the Insta side than what it has for the Osmo Action. Or maybe I'm just looking at the wrong place. What do we have here? Good. I'm really curious to hear the sound of the engine and the travel. So what I did was to set the camera onto rock steady stabilization, and I adjusted the microphone gain because it's like literally in front of my mouth. so that when I speak into the microphone it doesn't sound like I'm shouting. And the weather is nice, really nice. This is one of my favorite cross sections or crossings in Budapest, because by the time this lamp is green, the traffic from there is still oncoming or incoming. So if you look at the top right, oh, there we almost had an accident, and we have the bus, and these assholes are still coming here. Kurva anyádat, bazd meg. So he definitely got the red light and still entered this cross section. And nothing like I'm sorry or whatever. It's just like, hit me if you want. I don't care. Or I don't give a flying. Whatever. Interesting. This is also an interesting part. You can see when there is lots of space behind the car, then that person who gave that space is either on his phone or just completely somewhere else. And on one hand it can be understood, because it's like they literally spend half an hour until they get from here to the Népliget, which is 2 or 3 cross sections from here, but still, it's interesting. And there are people who like to give space so that the bikes can go, and there are people who just don't give a shit because they smoke their IQOS and talk on the phone. And the most wonderful part is when someone sits in a 2023 or 2024 car and they have their phone on loudspeaker in their hands instead of some loudspeaker or infotainment system, which I just don't get it. They are too lazy or not capable, or I have no idea why they are doing what they are doing. And look at that. And then again. The best practice is not to stand in that lane on the left side, but rather just come here, and by the time the traffic behind you catches up, you will be able to simply go to the left, and then you can start your way on the bridge. And this is my favorite part, because here I can give full throttle to the bike. Let's see. almost. That pedestrian was not supposed to be on that bridge. Oh, we have a red light. That's good. No, and it's yellow, and they are still coming out of the cross section. Just look at that shit. Now we are going. Jum, 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 jum. This summer marks the third year when I got my driver's license for this bike that I'm riding or have been riding ever since. And it was like I think one of the best decisions of my life to invest in this. And even though this bike is from 2002, so it's like 23 years old, this is kind of a famous bike, the Yamaha FZS 600, because it has a really good reputation. It's kind of low on maintenance, and according to my mechanic, it's so the components are designed for a stronger bike, and it's more rare that something goes off or wrong with this bike than anything from a similar era. So it's durable or trustworthy, or I don't know what's the right word for that. But so far I'm really delighted. Sometimes, or from time to time, of course, I'm like playing with the idea that I want to try a stronger bike, like a liter bike, and what does it feel like to go with 300 kilometers an hour or even faster. And sometimes I'm just sitting on this bike and cruising and going with the flow, and it's more than enough, more than I can ride out. So we will see. Maybe a couple of years from now, just maybe, I will buy a stronger one or newer one, or I don't know what's the right word for it. But for now, it's more than enough. Let's do the thingy. Woohoo! And we are going. Brum 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 brum. Yoo-hoo! Today, a friend of mine have shown me an advertisement on Facebook for a similar bike, So that's also Yamaha FZS 600 from 2002 or something like that. And a couple of years ago, a guy was selling that bike for like $2,000. And now my friend sees the same advertisement for $1,100. And there was a magical story why the discount. So the guy was lame enough to put up even pictures as to why he is giving it with the discount. And the story was that someone in the deep garage like bumped in his bike, which fell to its side, and that's where the injuries come from on the bike. And if you have ever seen a bike which fell during a ride, so those bruise marks on the, I don't know, wheel or side of the bike, so these injuries or bruise marks on the bike were identical or very similar to what someone would see on a bike which was in an accident where the bike fell and it slided on an asphalt. And it became obvious from the other comments to my friend that it's like a nice story just to sell the bike on the discount. And of course the wheel, or not the wheel, the stuff I'm holding, the steering was also like bent, so it was obvious that that bike during ride it fell on its right side, and that's why he wanted to sell it. And we have a chopper rider here who is not aware of the back door, or someone who wants to go but cannot because he was in the right lane and come on. Haladjál már, bazd meg! He's also wearing this fluffy jacket. That's definitely a riding gear. Woohoo! Vroom, vroom, vroom. Wow. And we are almost at home. And today is a special day because today is my daughter's name day. So in Hungary we're not only celebrating the birthdays, but we are also celebrating the names days. And in our family and in some families it is custom that a child or a person at birth is given two last names, or no, two first names. So my first names are Daniel, Ernő, and the last name is Szabó. And Daniel is my own name, so to speak, and Ernő is my father's name. So my daughter is called Szabó Lenke Eleonora, and today is the names day of Eleonora. So I'm not sure how much you can party with a 2-month-old, but we will try our best. And this fact was brought to my attention from my one of my dearest friends, Laszlo. So thank you for reminding me of that. Usually we don't celebrate the names of the second names, only the first names. But maybe we can do a little bit of an exception, so to speak. All right, so I think that was the motovlog for today. So see you next.